Hi, welcome everyone. Welcome to artists and creatives around the world. This little teaching video came about because of an amazing conversation I had with a friend and artist last week. And we were talking about what it takes to create a platform, to create a presence online, and then to get your work out there and to teach. And I'll post that link below this video so that you can see that or listen to it. It was an audio if you haven't seen it. But from that came a lot of questions about technology, about the how-tos. And so I just wanted to give a short little talk about that and see if I can help you out. In case you haven't met me in this way or don't know, I'm Anne Manat, and my group is called A Woman's Dharma. I am totally committed to helping women get their voice out there, to teach within their passions, and to really change the world. First thing is you change your life, then your whole world changes. It's pretty amazing. So just a couple of technical things. Like I said, I'll post some links down below. You can take notes as we go along, but I'm also going to post a nice little handout for you down below. It's not quite ready, but I'll post it there. And then there's a chat box on the side of this streaming live on YouTube on your computer. I don't think it shows up if you're on your iPad or your phone. So if anything comes up during the presentation that you have questions about, let me know. And I'm production manager as well as star on this video today. So we'll have to wait and see. I'll go back and forth to the questions. So if you post a question and I don't get to you, just let me know. You know what? I'm just going to close this window. We're having amazing fall-like weather today. I should say summer-like weather in the fall. But I'm afraid it's going to be a little too noisy for you. Okay, all set. A little sip of water. And we're going to go straight over to a little slideshow that I kind of put together for you. I took a longer slideshow that I have and I just took out all the extra. This is the absolute core of what you should be doing to get your presence online, to share your work. If you're an artist, if you're painting and creating amazing statues or paintings or any kind of thing that you create as an artist, you have to know that there are so many people craving what you do and what your lifestyle is like. And so as you consider raising your voice and getting out there into the world, know this: we are hungry for you. We cannot wait to hear what you have to say and for you to share with us. Even lifestyle. I know before, well, maybe still, but before I started painting, I thought that artists were a special tribe, that they knew some secrets that I didn't know. And I guess maybe you do know something that many people don't know, and that is how important creativity is and how it feeds everything and how without it, we're really nothing. And so in turn, each of us is a creative being, creating constantly all day long. And so the application of what you do is huge right now. People are hungry for what you can teach, and you can apply it to just about anywhere. You could teach corporations how to do art. You can teach, let me go to the other spectrum, children with special needs. You could help mothers express themselves. There is no end to your audience. So please, please take heed to what I say today. Start taking one step after the other and share your work on whatever level you can today. All right, I'm going to share this little presentation with you, and then I'll come back on live. The wonderful thing about Google Hangouts is that It's free. That's number one. And number two is the power of it. There could be hundreds or thousands of you online. Even President Obama has used Google Hangouts. And so it's very strong. It's very powerful. And once you do this presentation, it's uploaded immediately. So there you have it. All right. So here we are. Elegant Online Courses Resource Guide, and I just brought out the very core pieces for you. We're going to talk about building a course and a tribe for artists, an audience for artists. Yes, my tribe is my audience. It's the women and men who resonate with what I do. It's the people that will make you feel like you've just succeeded in every way, because once you start to share what you are here to share with the world, with the people that are hungry for it, there is no other satisfaction like that. Nothing. I promise you, it's the best. So any entrepreneur, any person wanting to make a business out of what they do really only has two jobs, and that is to meet new people and create great content. And so let's start there, because I know you are creating great content. And if you're an artist who just likes to stay in the back room, creating great content and not meeting anybody new, it doesn't mean that you can't go into business and do this. What it means is that you will need to find someone else who is going to be out there meeting new people, getting your work out there. But I think this is a talent that you can develop and that you should, because it's step by step. You don't have to be an extrovert. You can do it in your way. But let's just start this whole talk off with that essential piece, that you don't have to do everything. I know many very well-known people who have huge online presences who really don't do it themselves. What they do is they speak, or they teach, or they create offline. But it helps if you like to meet new people, and it helps if you like to be online. So let's talk about some 3 essentials. We are going to step through a very simple way to host a course. But I start here because the truth is, if you haven't created clarity, if you haven't created a framework of some sort, a container, a holder for your work, a place where you can communicate from, and if you haven't created a product, then it's really difficult to just jump in. You could create a product, over the next couple of weeks, and when you're ready to offer it, you don't have clarity about who the product is for. You don't have a framework, a place to share it. So we really have to talk about these first 2 pieces first, right? And so let's ask, who are you? What transformation do you offer? When you're selling your artwork, you're selling an experience. You're selling a beautiful, gorgeous, amazing piece of yourself. And when you're selling an educational experience, you're selling a transformation. It's not the step-by-step. It's not who am I and what are my qualifications? What school did I go to? Really what you're selling to your audience, to your tribe, is some kind of a new person, right? When I took my first art class recently with my beautiful friend Flora Abe, I learned how to make a painting. But what I really learned was, oh man, that list could go on forever. But let's say first, I learned that I'm a creative person. I learned that I can go in and play with color, and it feeds me, and it brings me peace and joy. So it could be many of these things. And really, so you want to come up with a statement like this. For example, I, Anne Manat, teach artists, healers, and coaches how to create elegant online courses and how to get their voice out into the world. Period. That's it. That's what I create and who I am. And the transformation that that offers is pretty in-depth. So I'm a healer by trade. 30 years I've been doing body work. So what I'm really interested in is a woman's transformation, a woman's voice getting out there. But as I thought about what to offer, what transformation can I offer, I knew that many wanted to teach online. And I have 2 degrees in business. My background is in the corporate world. So I thought, well, that's perfect. I can show people, I can give them the transformation of knowing that it doesn't have to be difficult, that they don't have to do it all themselves. So you see, I brought all of my gifts, but what I'm selling is how to do an online course. It's really a magical thing to bring together, and we spend a lot of time getting to clarity, because once you're very clear, the other part is easy. Then, and these aren't step-by-step, meaning you don't have to be totally clear before you create the framework, right? Let me say that again. Matter of fact, don't wait till you're totally clear. Create the framework, create a home base, create your favorite way of communicating. And by this, I mean you could blog, you can post on Facebook, you could do a podcast, you can do this type of Google Hangout or video cast. There are many, many ways to do it. So I want to ask you, what way do you like communicating now? I even know an artist who turns on the camera and the camera's aimed at her canvas. So she's chatting. This is how she does her video blog. She's chatting to you, but what you see is her hands working on the canvas. And this might appeal to many of you who are not used to stepping in front of a camera, who really just want to share your work and your voice and not necessarily your face. There are so many ways to do this. So start brainstorming. Start having fun with it. What is my home base? Am I going to create a blog? Am I going to create a podcast or a video cast? So for example, you know, and we'll talk about the specifics, but if it's a video cast, then maybe YouTube is your home. And if it's a blog, then a website is your home, okay? And then what way are you going to communicate with your audience? Very, very important. Communication on a consistent basis. I know artists and spiritual teachers who have been communicating consistently on their Facebook for years. You can go back in time and find their old posts, and they have crickets, beautiful, fabulous posts. One woman has over 250,000 followers on her Facebook page. And yet, just 4 or 5 years ago, nobody was listening. So she got on there and she posted on a regular basis. So consistency with communication is key. All right, so now you have a framework and you have found your voice. You know who you are and who your tribe is, and you're going to create a transformation. Now, if you do this well, if you put those pieces together, and once again, don't worry, I'll show you how we're going to put them together. If you do that well, within a year or 2 or 3, people will be asking you. That's what happened with me. I was writing about doing online business, finding your voice, healing your life, all of these pieces that goes together, right? And people said, well, when are you going to teach a course in it? And voila, here I am. I'm just taking a sip of water if you hear me pause. Very windy here today. All right, so then we get to your product. Basically, your product is your course. You might have paintings to sell. You might do one-on-ones. But until you have a product, you don't really have a business, do you? And I'll tell you, your product really, if you have an issue with value, if you have trouble selling your self or your paintings, I want you to know that really, if you're doing your work, people want more of you. They do. When I was doing my massage, you know, there were lots of people who would have loved to have received a massage every week, but they couldn't afford it. So when you put something online, that's a way of leveraging your time, a way of sharing yourself and your arts and your gifts with more people. And I am passionate about you doing this. So keep it in that essence, in that viewpoint. I am sharing more of myself by selling to many people online. Okay? Okay, so you know what? I'm going to just come back for a second and look into your eyes. I know it takes a second with Google Hangouts. Hi. I just wanted to come back, and I'm going to go to the page online too and see if anybody has any questions. They don't make a way for me to mute this right away, so hold on just one second. Otherwise, you'll hear my voice in two different places. Fabulous. So I'm just going to type in right here, post your questions here, and welcome. Yay. So if you have any questions, go ahead and type them in right there. Here we are again. Okay, now I'm looking at my face, so I don't want to do that. All right, so take a deep breath. We've talked about a lot of things already, right? We've talked about creating clarity around who you are, who you serve, and what's the transformation that you make. We've talked about creating a framework, either online, on a video page like YouTube, and kind of a home base. And then really thinking about, how do I communicate best? I encourage all of my clients to use video. My students will tell you. I put a smartphone in their hand the very first day of class, and we just go like this, like you see the kids doing. We do a little hello video, and then we post it, and that's the first step. And I have people who did that for the very first time just a few months ago who are loving it, who are saying, you know, I was really shy, but this is kind of fun. You get over the first time you see your face on there, I promise you. You really do. All right, so then we're talking about your product. So let me give you some steps here. Let's see if there's any questions. I have a lot of windows open. Oh, hi. Everybody's saying hi right now. Lots of windows open. So let me, okay, here we go. Get back to you. All righty. So artists, one of my favorite things. I'm going to tell you a little story. So I told you that I was a healer, and I became a healer because, well, let's see. I was in the corporate world once again at the age of 33, and I was not enjoying it. And so I had all this background in business. I had 2 degrees where they taught me about marketing and promotion and sales. And a healer, or actually a psychic, read my palm one day, and she told me that I was a healer. And I started taking the class in massage, and 6 months later I was doing it full time. So that was 24 years ago now. So I've had my own business for a long time. I've had various iterations of a business. I had a really large gym where we trained athletes. So I have a lot of background in that. And recently, I just turned 55. I decided that coming off of so much physical work, running a big facility, was not what I wanted to do in the near future. So I started looking into online marketing, teaching online. I know it sounds crazy to say that you teach a massage course online, but If I can teach a massage course online, you can teach painting online. And what I did with my massage, of course, was they learned online, and then we would join and come together in person to practice. Or they would do it there. I had a group overseas too, so they had to do it with their friends. And then there was a test in my person. But here's the thing. What I've been hearing as I started shifting back to a business study mode, what I've been hearing from the biggest people on the planet, from the best entrepreneurs, from the highest sales people, was something around presence. They were talking about connection. They were talking about being grounded and sharing your heart. Does this start to sound familiar? This is the feminine way, my darlings. It is our time. And if you grew up back in the 60s and 70s like I did, I need to help you push into today, to jump into where we are now. It is not the same time. The persecutions are not the same, and people are starving. People have been in corporations for years and years and years, and they need you and what you do. And so look, don't let this technology hold you back. Don't let all the different things that you think you have to do stop you. I'm going to show you the basic things I think you should be doing. And then remember, even that you can get help with. So just know, I don't want a bunch of artists out there doing technical stuff. It's going to take me a second to get back to the page here, because that's not where your genius is, right? Your genius, there we go. Your genius is in doing your art, and there's somebody else who loves to do the online stuff, right? So stick with what you do, and I don't know, trade for your art. Find a student, get creative, but start asking. Don't let it stop you. I said in one of my email letters that it's not the thing you think it is that's stopping you. And we'll talk a little bit about that one at the very end, I think. All right, the top 3 resources for artists to start working with now. A Facebook fan page. Now, once again, don't get overwhelmed. Yes, but I don't know how to do it. I'm printing this out as a handout for you, and I'm going to include links, little links for how to do these things. It's little video tutorials that I've done for my clients in my courses. And so you can start today. You can just sit down with one of my, I think it's less than 10 minutes, and learn how to do it. You want to be on Facebook fan pages because that's where you can grow. That's where you can promote your work. That's where you can pay for boosts so that everybody sees your posts, etc. There's lots of reasons, but just trust me, you want to be on there. Second, you want to choose, unfortunately, you are an artist. Many of you are graphic artists, meaning it's something you watch. I suppose there might be a few singers out there. In that case, you don't have to do this, but you folks have to use video. That's just the way it is. There are ways to avoid actually appearing face-to-face with the camera for now, but you do have to use video. So I need you to get on YouTube. I need you to start a YouTube channel and start posting. I don't care if it's a simple slideshow of your work. Just a slideshow, just here's one, now here's another, playing some music in the background, something. Start practicing. There are little skills that you need to develop, you know, like right now you can take a video with your phone and then automatically you like press a button and upload it to your YouTube page. So the skills are getting pretty simple. I don't want you to have to learn all of these skills right when you go to start a class. So start playing with it now. You don't worry. If you post something on YouTube, 1 million people are not going to see it. Hardly anybody will see it. Maybe nobody, unless you push it out there. Vimeo and Wistia are 2 other video hosting sites. Oh, and let me just back up. No, you can't host the videos on your own website. All the videos you see on a website are hosted somewhere else. YouTube is free, so it's fabulous. Vimeo and Wistia are more, they're higher quality, they're more professional, and you can protect the content with a password. So we're going to talk about that when we talk about creating your course. I'm missing an R on this last one. Number 3 is my email service provider, and I'm going to go into depth on all 3 of these, don't worry. Email service provider is that thing that sends out emails. No, you can't send emails from your Gmail. The number 1 thing that an email service provider does for you is it gives you deliverability. When you send out to 600 people on an email service provider, they send each of the emails one by one so that it doesn't look like a spam. All right? I mean, there's lots of other things that your email service provider will do for you, but that's one of the main things. So it's the way you will communicate with people. It's the way you will offer your course once you've developed it. And it's where people get more from you. All right. Oh, I know. So also, all of this is free, except I would like you to pay for your email service provider. There's a free version of many of them, but it doesn't have an autoresponder, and I'll tell you what that means. All right, so Facebook fan pages, creating a home base. Believe it or not, if you create a Facebook fan page this week, you don't even need a website. It's a place to start sharing. It's a place you can gather email addresses from people, and you'll start to develop your voice. People will start to see what you've done. I have one client who has, I think, 10,000, well, 2 clients at least that have 10,000 people on their fan pages, and they've done nothing else. That's all they've done is just the fan page. I want you to take these simple steps. Start to practice. I developed a fan page called A Woman's Dharma because I wanted to work with women, and I wanted to work with developing their purpose and their voice in life. The fact that I actually moved to actually teaching how to do online courses was just a very narrow focus of this larger picture. So I get to play on my fan page. Once again, I will be sharing a link with you. And if you're watching this later, just look down below and there's a link where you can download my little handy workbook, and I'll have the link to a YouTube video leading you step by step, done by me, in how to create a fan page. So you can have it done today. All right? All right, next. Video creation and editing. All right? Like I said before, grab your smartphone. Don't have a smartphone? Not an excuse. Little digital cameras are super cheap. You could also use an old smartphone. I'm guessing one of your friends or family members has a smartphone laying around. It doesn't have to have service on it. You can just use it to take videos and download them onto your computer. All right, at first just hold it with your hand, then you'll want to get a tripod to keep it from wobbling all over. You notice it says video creation and editing, but I didn't include an editing software here. I do have some, and I can let you know what they are if you're curious. I use iMovie or ScreenFlow, but here's the thing. I don't recommend editing your video. I know that's crazy. Look at this video I'm doing here. It's not perfect. It serves. It teaches. I made some mistakes here and there. It will be automatically uploaded. Nobody ever edit. It will serve. It will continue to serve. So if you're ready and you've practiced, you can do your video in one take. If nothing, do it in 3 or 4 pieces, right? Stop, drink your water, take a breather, and then you hire either a student or someone from a website like Fiverr, which is where you can hire freelancers, and you just have them put it together for you. Just plug, 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 all together. I have a nephew who studied video. He'll do it for you. I mean, seriously, it's not that hard. I do not want you, unless you're really curious and you're going to become a hobbyist and become a video editor to mess with editing video. It's a waste of time. You could be painting, right? Okay. Then for hosting, as we said, we want to use YouTube for everything that's marketable. Google owns YouTube. So you want to be on YouTube. You want to be visible. You want to be playing on there. You want to have some fun and start to create a brand. Okay. And then Vimeo is great when we're ready to post some videos for teaching that you want to put behind a password. All right. Okay, before we talk about the course creation, let me come back here and see how we're doing. Hi. Now, I want to tell you something. You might be a little overwhelmed. You might be thinking, oh gosh, we're 33 minutes into this, and look at all the things I have to know and do. I'm almost done. That's it. All I want you to do today is get clear on your vision. Start using your voice. Use a Facebook fan page. Use YouTube. There's no worrying about who's seeing it. How many clients do I have? When can I start my course? That's not the first step. You need to be teaching. If you haven't taught before, then start teaching. Teach one person. When I do my marketing classes for body workers and healers, I'm like, okay, so we just write down, right? How many days a week or how many clients a week do you want to be doing? And they usually say 20 or so. I'm like, okay, and how many are you doing now? 5, okay. What are you doing with the other 15 hours? Because if you don't have those clients, you can be sharing your work. Massage your local chiropractor, right? Teach your niece how to do this technique with eyes that you want to teach online. Hold, I don't know, go to a shelter and hold a painting class. Help preschoolers learn about art. I'm sure there's a bunch of places that nobody's teaching art. Give it away until you're really good at it. You know, you can't get better at it listening to me talk about it. Doesn't work that way. You've got to step in. Step in somewhere. If you need help on clarity, contact me. I'll help you. I can usually look at what you're doing and say, look, this is it. Go for it. Somebody would have looked at me. You're a body worker. You're a healer. You love artists and hanging out with them. And you've got this huge business background. So you're not afraid to go online. You're not afraid to step out there and sell. You realize it's a service and that it's not me giving, right? The art just comes through you. It's not up to you. Let that part go. You're just going to be a vehicle. If I felt like I had to get on here today and convince people and be organized and, you know, and do it right and do it perfectly, I would have never stepped on here. I prepared. I made a nice visual for you. I've got my handout I'm going to give you. Then I prayed and I sang. I would have painted if I had time. And I sat down here and I'm going to give you the best of what I have. The best. Don't forget, if you have any questions, you can post them on here. Carol says, I want to watch this, but I have an appointment. Will there be a recording? This is Google Hangouts. It's recording as I'm talking. Yeah. And when I'm done, voila, same link. You can play it immediately. It's an amazing thing. We can all be TV stars for nothing these days. It's pretty amazing. Okay, I'm on the wrong page here again. Any questions, let me know. All right, so we're almost there, guys. Seriously. Course creating and hosting. So you've been working with, playing with your Facebook fan page. You've been putting out a video here and there on YouTube. You've been teaching little classes in what you want to teach online eventually, but for now it's at home. Many of you maybe are already doing these kinds of things. So as you get ready to take that step, the bigger step, I want you to remember 3 things before we even talk about how to do it. Number 1, you won't really push your work out there and have the course you want to give until your third course. It's just the way it works. You won't be ready. You misunderstood how many people wanted to sign up. You are still trying to find your voice and get clear. The technology, even the little bit that you're responsible for, is a little overwhelming. You got busy, your kid's sick. I mean, it just goes on, right? So the first time through, oh my gosh, it's rocky, you know? And usually the course goes very well and the people absolutely adore you because there's a vulnerability in being new. It's a true vulnerability, and it's you know, that tenderness of stepping out there. People can see that, and you know, we're cheering for you. We're cheering for each other to get our voices out there, to get our work out there. So absolutely, the first course, you're just starting to feel, how does this work? Second course, you're like, oh, okay, I see how it works. Let me you know, kind of adjust my content a little bit, or add this, or take away that, and you do it again. And sometimes that one's even a little less well attended because you've been focusing on so many other things. Now, your third course. Okay, I get it. This is easier now. It's not so hard to teach. I highly recommend making your first course something you already know how to teach. Reason being obvious. If you're learning all these new things, it really helps if you can, uh-oh, am I screen sharing? Darn. Aha, it wasn't. Well, hopefully I didn't scratch my nose or something in the middle. Anyway, let's get over here to the screen share. I didn't have anything on there for you anyway, so see, made a mistake. All right, this is what happens. It's a little harder when you're doing it all yourself. Let's see, where am I then? That's the one. Okay. Fabulous. All right, so here we are. You want to, like I said, you want to do something. You already know how to teach, so it's not all new. And we're going to start. And I want you to make it as simple as you can ever imagine. Okay? Creating a course in hosting, you're going to use email. You're going to use video on one of these beautiful formats that you already know how to use, probably Vimeo, because they have a nice, it just works really well for artists. It's really beautiful. It's high quality. It's high definition, and you can hide everything behind a password. And then you're going to use a Facebook group for your group portion. Now, little disclaimer on this. This is not the best way to host a class. There are some amazing systems coming into use. I just heard about another one today. It's totally standalone. It's what you call in the cloud, which means it's not on your website, it's somewhere else, which means someone else gets to take care of the technology. They're not terribly cheap. I think a lot of them charge about 10%, but it's a lot cheaper than hiring an assistant and spending hundreds and hundreds of hours doing it yourself. What I do recommend is, this is kind of a way, the system I'm suggesting is a kind of a way to mock up your, excuse me, your course. So you're going to create emails to communicate, you're going to post videos to teach, and you're going to be sharing in a Facebook group. Period. Easy. You can send somebody a PayPal page to pay. That's it. Voila, you're done. You get it? Okay, cool. So the reason we want to do this is because there's so many other moving parts. Now, the eventual system that I recommend for my students is to put on an extra piece of software or two. I recommend using a WordPress website with an attachment called Wishlist. And what this does is it starts to automate your system. So for example, with my courses that I teach, people go to a page, which is actually not even on my website. They read about the course, they sign up, and when they sign up, not only are they let into the course, which is on my website, but their name is automatically put into my email account. Now, I'll tell you, this kind of automation is unbelievably nice. Otherwise, you're getting a PayPal invoice, and then you have to add each person, you know, and for your first couple of classes, that's fine, and that's why I'm not recommending doing that. I'm recommending doing it this way. Just sign people up, send them emails from your email service provider, something like MailChimp or GetResponse, okay? And then voila, that's how you serve your tribe. Very simple, not difficult. You can no longer use this as an excuse, right? Now, when you create your course, I do recommend, as an artist, that you hire a videographer, a person to come in and take a video. Let's say you decided to teach a local course, or you're already teaching local courses. Hire somebody to tape it. By the time you're done, you will have your course. A lot of times a student can do that. It will be your biggest expense as an artist to have that course taped, but then you're finished and you can use it for years and years. Okay? I know one person whose husband does it. He's pretty good at it, and he's always there, and he does not do the editing. He sends it out. Okay, so a series of videos, some beautiful emails from you, and a place to share. That's all that's needed, I promise you. Okay, let's see. So right now, I just want to talk about my course. I do a course where I teach healers, artists, and coaches how to do simple and elegant online courses. And because I know most of you are from a special group that's dear to my heart, I want to offer you this course at Elegant Online Courses for $50 off if you want to continue and go for 6 weeks. And for 6 weeks, we learn these beautiful skills. We practice them with each other. And then the course is, the live part finishes, but we are together still for months and months. I don't care if it takes years, we're still together. So it's a lifetime course that you can continue to look back at. And if you go there and you sign up using the coupon ARTIST, you'll get $50 off. All right, Elegant Online Courses, coupon ARTIST, $50 off. And that's just for you folks who are so dear to my heart. The course, the first live call is tomorrow, but if you're watching this anytime in the next week or so, please just join us. You can catch up. Okay, back to questions. No questions? Wow. Uh-oh. Oh, there we are, okay. All right, so what else do I have to say to my lovely artists? Creating a course, creating an online business, the hurdles to entering business online is so low now. It's free or it's very reasonable. The true job, the true work is inside now, right? It's practicing being visible. It's practicing using our voices. The feminine voice has been smothered, has been pushed down for millennia. There are sensitive ones of us who can feel that in our chromosomes. We get this irrational fear that like we're going to get burned at the stake. Little subtle ways that we've been put down our whole lives. So the work that we do together in group or in any group you join, I'm telling you, it's another thing you've heard me say many, many times is don't do this alone. You don't have to do it alone. The work that we do is about stepping into that more glorious self, that more fulfilled person. And there's nothing better. One little story, I have a client named Meg Archambault, and she has a website called tinymessages.com. And she's still finding her clarity. She's still looking for exactly who she's teaching and what she's teaching. But she knows that her own life has been greatly enhanced by her ability to self-love. So this summer, she taught a small course called Summer of Love, I think it was. Yeah. And people stepped forward and they took it. And at some point, she looked at me and she said, is it really possible making a living doing this? There is nothing more fulfilling than sharing your gifts, having them be received, and changing people's lives. Nothing. All right? So should we review a little bit? 2 things that are your job: making new friends, creating great content. So doing your work, doing your art, meeting new people, stepping out there. 2 things. If you can't do both, hire somebody to help you meet new people. But if you can stretch yourself just a little bit, it makes a huge difference if it's you out there meeting new friends, gathering your tribe. And I'm telling you, sharing a little bit of what you do every day in your studio, share a picture of your studio, share your latest work in progress. Lifestyle pictures for artists are so compelling. I'm sure that you feel the same way when you see someone else's studio even, right? So start to share in this way and just dance with it. When it gets to be too much, step away from the computer. Don't do Facebook for hours and hours and hours and say, oh, I just can't do Facebook for my business. I start in the morning with my browser off. I don't check email. I do my creative process. Then I check in with my groups on Facebook. I don't look at the home feed. I want to, but I don't. I check in with my ladies, see how they're doing. It's probably 10 or 11 o'clock in the morning before I check email. Because as many people like to say, that's someone else's to-do list for you. You have the time. You can make a little bit more money doing something. I turned off my cable when I was first starting, and actually never turned it back on. You know, all these little ways we can take $100 a month and put it into our business. Take one little course, watch a video like this and grow from it. Invest in yourself. Step out and use your voice. Yeah, there are groups everywhere doing it. There are, I promise. If you want to learn from me, elegantonlinecourses.com. There's a whole nother 3-part video series there. It's a little more in depth. It's not just for artists. It's, you know, got more of the details. It'll fill out what I've said here today, but make sure and come back and download this. I will email it to you. It's going to be just my shorter resource guide. I've got a longer one, but this is just very succinct, and we'll cover what we've done here today. But remember, I'm going to show you this one more time. If you do want to join me, I will absolutely give you a special price. So, Elegant Online Courses, coupon artist. Yeah, and you can email me at ann@annmanat.com if you have any more questions. I'm just going to go back over here one more time. Where are you guys? Okay, no more questions there. I'm in service to you. I love you all. I thank you for showing up here today. And please raise your voice. Try something today. Pick up your phone. Make a little video. Just say, hi, Ann. I was on your call and I was just wanting to share with you, and then post it. Yay. Bravo. See you soon. Love you guys.